In the bustling town of Amucha, nestled in the eastern heartlands of Nigeria, two little girls were born just weeks apart, Adora and Ifeoma. Their mothers were best friends, bound not just by the years they had shared in youth, but also by the deep roots of kinship and tradition. They lived next door to each other, and it seemed only natural that their daughters would inherit their bond. From the moment they could walk, Adaora and Ifeoma were inseparable. They held hands as they toddled through the dusty parts of the village, fetched water from the stream, and played under the mango trees. It was said in the village that when you saw one, you saw the other. Adaora was quiet, thoughtful, always reading or listening. Ifeoma, on the other hand, was lively, outspoken, and brave. Together, they balanced each other like twin stars. On their first day of primary school, they walked in together, wearing matching pink dresses sewn by Adora's mother. They sat on the same bench, shared the same books, and even answered questions in unison. As they grew older, they whispered about their dreams of becoming lawyers, wearing the black robes and wigs they had seen on television, defending the weak and standing for justice. I want to speak for those who have no voice, Adaora would say. And I want to make money and travel to Abuja and London, Ifeoma would laugh. But always, the dream was shared. They promised to never be apart, to go through life side by side. Their bond was unbreakable, and so they thought. Secondary school came, and again they enrolled together. Same school, same class, same ambitions. They joined the literary and debating society, where Adora's calm arguments and Ifeoma's fiery delivery made them champions. Teachers admired their intelligence and commitment. Other students envied their closeness. By SS3, the pressure to pass WAEC and JAM weighed heavily on them. They stayed up late, reading under dim kerosene lamps, quizzing each other. They had both applied to the University of Ibadan to study law, refusing to consider any other school or course. When the JAM results came out, both had scored high marks. They rejoiced, danced under the moonlight, and declared that nothing could stop them now. But fate had other plans. The day the admission list came out, Adaora's name appeared. Law, University of Ibadan. Ifeoma's name was nowhere to be found. Ifeoma cried in silence that night. Her parents tried to comfort her. Days later, she received another offer from a polytechnic to study office technology. She ripped the letter in pieces. I will not go, she told Adora. We made a vow. If we cannot go together, then I will wait. Adora felt torn. She pleaded with her parents to let her defer the admission, but her father was firm. You can't live your life waiting on someone else. Everyone has their own destiny. With tears in her eyes, Adora agreed to go. Ifeoma helped her pack her things, but something inside her was breaking. 1 week before Adora's departure, Ifeoma came to her room. She sat on the edge of the bed, fingers nervously playing with the edge of her wrapper. I have a party on Friday, she said, her voice casual. There'll be a lot of people there. I want to look elegant. Please, can I borrow that wine red dress? The one with the lace sleeves. It fits you like it was sewn on your body. Adora smiled. That's my favorite dress, but of course you can take it. Ifeoma hugged her. Thank you, I'll take good care of it. But Ifeoma never went to a party. That evening, under the cloak of darkness, she made her way to the outskirts of town, to a mud hut hidden among banana trees. Inside sat Mama Chika, an old woman feared and whispered about. Some said she healed with herbs, others claimed she communed with spirits. I don't want to kill her, Ifeoma said, handing over the dress. I just want her to be delayed. I want her to suffer just a little like I'm suffering now. Mama Chika nodded. Her eyes gleaming, she chanted in Igbo. tied cowries and feathers to the dress, spat on it, then handed it back. Make sure she wears it on the day she leaves. That is when the charm will work. Ifeoma returned home, heart pounding, hands shaking. She told herself it was just a little delay, nothing too bad. Morning of departure, Adara was up early, her suitcase packed, her heart full of hope. She wore jeans and a plain top, but Ifeoma came in, holding the wine red dress. You should wear this, she said with a smile. You will look stunning. First impressions matters, you know. Adora hesitated. Are you sure? You just borrowed it. Yeah, it's yours, Ifeoma replied, and it always looks best on you. Adora changed into the dress. She looked radiant. They walked to the motor park together, arm in arm, laughing even through their tears. I'll miss you, Adora said. Promise me you won't forget me. Never. They hugged tightly. Adora boarded the bus. Ifeoma stood waving until the bus disappeared around the bend. But Adora never reached Ibadan. Halfway through the journey, on a narrow curve, the bus swerved. A truck had lost control and veered into their lane. The driver tried to avoid it, but the bus flipped. Screams filled the air. Metal groaned. Glass shattered. The bus somersaulted 5 times before landing on its side in a ditch. Blood stained the road. Limbs were crushed. Children cried. 5 people died on the spot. Others were injured. Adara was found unconscious, her face unrecognizable, her limbs twisted at unnatural angles. Her jaw was broken, her teeth scattered, her spine cracked. She was rushed to the nearest hospital, then transferred to a specialist center in Enugu. Doctors said she might never walk again. Her body was broken. Her dreams lay shattered like the bus that carried them. News reached Ifeoma. She screamed, fell to the floor, but inside her heart something else stirred. Regrets, fear, and shame. She had not wanted this, not like this. She rushed to the hospital and wept by Adaura's bed. No one knew, no one suspected. She stayed by her side like a loyal sister. But deep inside, she knew she had opened a door that only God could close. Adaura lay still, unmoving, a tangle of bandages and wires around her. The hospital room was silent except for the rhythmic beeping of machines and the soft murmurs of nurses. Ifeoma sat beside her every day, holding her hand, whispering apologies into the void. I didn't mean for this, Ada, I swear. I just wanted time to catch up. I didn't know it would go this far. She brought food, changed her bed sheets, and massaged her hands. She became Adaura's shadow, her silent caregiver. People praised her loyalty, admired her sacrifice, but every praise pierced deeper into her conscience. Adaura's parents were devastated. Her mother barely spoke while her father became a ghost of himself. Bills piled up. They sold their land and borrowed money from the church and friends to continue treatment. Still, Ifeoma stayed. Months passed. Adora's condition remained the same, vegetative. Doctors advised moving her to a rehabilitation center. Ifeoma volunteered to travel with her. She needs someone she trusts, she said. No one disagreed. Every night she knelt by Adaura's bedside and cried, praying for forgiveness. But Adaura did not wake up. 3 years crawled by. Adaura began to show signs of life. Faint hand movements, slow blinking. Her jaw had been reconstructed, her limbs supported with metal rods. She could not speak, but her eyes, those deep, thoughtful eyes, spoke volumes. She recognized Ifeoma. She smiled at her, and that smile haunted Ifeoma. Guilt gnawed at her soul. She stayed strong on the outside, even managed to apply to another university. She studied law at a state university, graduated with honors, and passed law school with distinction. During holidays, she returned to Adaura, now in a wheelchair, unable to walk but mentally alert. She read to her, prayed with her, and took her to healing programs. She masked her guilt with care. One day, Adaora typed on her therapy tablet, "You are my sister. I thank God for you." Ifeoma almost collapsed. It was a rainy Sunday when they attended a special healing service at a large Pentecostal church. The pastor, a man unknown to them, preached powerfully. As he closed the service, he paused and looked over the congregation. "There is someone here," he said slowly. "You are a witch. You have harmed someone close to you. You made her life miserable. Come out and repent now." Murmurs spread through the crowd. Several women stood and walked to the altar. The pastor shook his head. "One of you is still sitting. God is speaking to you. Come out now before his wrath descends." Ifeoma trembled. Sweat poured down her face. Adora stared at her confused. Suddenly, Ifeoma screamed and bolted to the altar, collapsing in tears. "It was me! I did it!" she cried. "I enchanted the dress. I couldn't stand being left behind. I wanted to delay her, not destroy her. I just wanted fairness." Echoes filled the room. Adora slumped in her wheelchair unconscious. She was rushed to the hospital and was revived hours later. Her parents were in shock. The truth crushed them. Ifeoma came to the ward kneeling before Adora's bed. "I don't deserve forgiveness. I have lived in shame every day. But please, if you can, forgive me." Ada wept. Her hands trembled. "I loved you like a sister," she whispered. "I loved you too, but my heart was dark." "I forgive you," Adora said, "not because you deserve it, but because I need peace." A long silence followed. Then Adora added, "Now let God judge us both." Adora began to regain strength. Her muscles, long unused, twitched. Doctors were shocked. Her will to live burned fiercely now. She wanted to walk again. She wanted to be called to bar. They both began a journey together, no longer equals in guilt and innocence, but sisters in healing. Years passed. Adora learned to sit upright unaided, then to move her hands, then slowly, after months of therapy, to take a step with support. It took 8 long years. She lost her youth, but she gained wisdom. She applied to study law. This time she was admitted. She was 31, the oldest in her class, but she walked into the lecture hall with pride. The entire campus admired her, and she became a symbol of resilience. Ifeoma visited often, bringing her meals, cheering her on, and staying on the background. Adaora graduated with second-class upper. She passed law school and was called to bar. Her voice, once lost, now argued with eloquence in courts across Nigeria. She and Ifeoma started a joint legal practice focused on human rights and rehabilitation law. They were no longer bound by childish dreams. They were women molded by pain and grace. Adaora reflected often. Her youth was stolen. Her smile was different. Her legs bore scars. Her heart bore deeper ones. She never married, not because she couldn't, but because her soul was still healing. Ifeoma had married, had 3 children. She found joy, but guilt remained a quiet companion. Still, Adaora forgave, and that kept them connected. They returned to Amucha once more, speaking in churches and schools, telling their story. Mothers wept, and youths listened. "Never envy your friend's season," Adora would say. "Your time will come. Don't hold anyone back," Ifeoma would add. "Some lessons are too expensive." One day, Adora stood before a classroom, addressing law students. Her voice strong, her legs trembling, but upright. "If I could turn back the hands of time," she said, "I would have trusted destiny more than friendship. I would have known that our lives unfold in different rhythms." The hall was silent. "But even now," she added, "I have no regrets because pain birthed purpose and betrayal brought me to grace." And so, Adora's journey reminds us that destiny may delay, but it never denies. When the heart chooses forgiveness over revenge, healing begins. In every betrayal, there is a lesson. In every scar, a story. Thank you for watching African Folktales by Fizzy. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And subscribe for more powerful stories that teach, touch, and transform. Until next time, stay wise, stay strong. Bye.